Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Battle Cat from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line from Mattel. This is his iteration from Masters of the Universe Revelation, which just debuted on Netflix today. Haven't had a chance to check it out yet. We'll be checking it out this weekend for sure. Very excited for this guy. You can see you get the little Netflix logo over here. Boasts 30 points of articulation, is labeled as Deluxe Detail Sculpt Articulation. So there you go. But yeah, he is huge. He is a beast. Literally. Packaging is pretty cool, very similar to the one we saw for the Skelegod. You can see some pretty cool artwork of Battle Cat on this side. Over on this side, it just says Battle Cat. If we take a look on the back here, really cool artwork of He-Man astride Battle Cat. You have Castle Grayskull in the background here. It's advertising that you can take all the armor off for Cringer, which of course we'll take a look at. And then it gives us our assortment for the first wave here. Skelegod we've already taken a look at. I have not been able to find this size class of figure here. He-Man, Mossman, Skeletor, and Evil Lyn. I've been looking. I'm hoping that they're going to show up soon. I'm sure they will eventually. I don't think they're going to be too hard to find. This one I actually got from Target online. So got on the Target app. He might still be available. Not 100% sure. But check that out if you're looking for him. I think they're going to show up at Walmart's first. I've seen some people find like big pallets out in the center areas that have, you know, all of these figures in Battle Cat and Skelegod. So I think with Mattel, Walmart usually gets first crack at stuff before it opens up everywhere else. But obviously it's available at Target because I got my Skelegod at Target and this came from Target.com. But I'm thinking for these figures, maybe they're Walmart first. Just conjecture. Not 100% sure about that. But that's where I would check first. I would check. I know some online retailers and stuff have gotten them too. I think some people have gotten them from like Entertainment Earth and places like that. Big Bad Toy Store might have them up as well. So if you're on the hunt for these guys, I would check those various online retailers or just, you know, check your local Walmart. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, free this guy from his plastic prison, and then we're going to take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging, and honestly, he is just really huge. I can't get over the size of him. He's really kind of crazy. Just for a fun comparison, here is Origins Battle Cat, and you can really see the difference in size. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I know these are meant for smaller figures, but this is one giant cat. You can't go wrong. So I think he looks great. I really like the kind of more subdued color scheme for him. And if I bring Origins back in, you can see how this is kind of a brighter red and green. But I kind of like the more subdued, softer, like maroon and like a not as bright green with the yellow. I think it really works. And it really matches the animation style from what I've seen from the, you know, trailers and snippets online and things like that, little teases and whatnot. So I think he looks really cool. At first I didn't really like this new helmet design, but it's really grown on me. I mean, I like the eyes. You can open the mouth. It has kind of, you know, the horns back here with the point. And it works. I don't know. I didn't like it at first, but it's really grown on me. I mean, the saddle, there's not really much to tell back here. It's pretty standard. It's got two straps underneath here to keep it on. And just overall, it looks pretty imposing. I think it looks really neat. I like it a lot. I'm going to go ahead and take the armor off so we can take a look at the articulation. I just think it'll be easier to do without the armor on. So this just lifts off. And then you can see Cringer's head underneath. And then here we would have to just kind of unpeg and then slide these out pretty simply. And then we just take this off. So I'm going to go ahead and put these off to the side. And then we can kind of zoom in here and take a closer look at Cringer. And I mean, the Cringer face looks really good as well. I think they did a nice job. The eyes are nicely painted. The mouth looks good. I like when you close it up, he's got the two fangs. Now, Cringer only has the one fang, but I guess because he, you know, you can't have... I guess they could have given us a different head or some kind of interchangeable piece to give him one fang versus two fangs for Battle Cat. But I'm still happy with this. I think it looks good. I like how it's kind of molded and fits in perfectly when you have it closed, that they just kind of hang there on the side. That really works. So again, you have the mouth open and close. You have kind of a ball joint here at the base of the skull. And then you have kind of another joint here. This is just a swivel. I don't think there's any side to side here. But you can spin the head. You can rock it back and forth, up and down. So I think there's a ball joint at the base of the skull. And then just kind of a swivel joint here at the base of the neck. Each of the legs has, I guess this is kind of a ball joint because you can revolve it. You can kind of go in and out a little bit, but like only in one direction. So like I can't lift it straight up this way. It just kind of rocks back and forth like this. you have a hinge, and I guess what would be his knee. And then there's a rotation there as well. And then at his ankle, you have a hinge as well. So that can hinge, and then it can also spin side to side. So both of the front legs have the same amount of articulation there. Here in the midsection, you can see he's got two different diaphragm cuts here. Or I guess technically diaphragm and maybe his waist, depending on how you want to think about it. But so this is kind of a ball joint because you can kind of move it around like so. And then back here is the same. So you can, a lot of nice movement there. The tail has one simple hinge and a rotation, and then it's all one solid piece from there. These legs are pretty similar to the front legs, but they have an extra point of articulation here. So these are pretty much the same, forward and back. You can go in and out a little bit. You have the hinge and the rotation here at the knee, and then you kind of have like two ankles. So you can bend and rotate there, as well as hinge and rotate at the actual ankle itself. So that's how you can get him in like a classic, you know, crouched pose like that for the back legs, which I think makes total sense. So it's a ton of articulation. Like, it really, really went all out. And he looks good. I mean, he's huge, but I think he's going to scale well with the, you know, 7-inch Masterverse figures once I can finally get my hands on them. But yeah, he looks great. I really like it. I think they did such a good job. The head sculpt looks great. Just overall, he's just a giant, imposing cat. Really nice articulation. Paint applications are good. And like I said, I really like the color scheme they chose for him. The subdued colors really work for me. I just think he looks absolutely fantastic. He's just a gigantic cat. And what's not to love? He's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and put the armor back on. I don't really have much to try to pose him with, because like I said, I don't have any of the Revelation figures, but we'll see what we can come up with. Alright, so first up, I don't have Revelation He-Man, but I have Origins He-Man, so I can show you just kind of how ridiculous this looks. He almost doesn't fit. Unfortunately, I don't know if his legs are wide enough. He might not actually fit on here. So, kind of looks ridiculous. Obviously doesn't fit. He's much bigger than that. Now we can try the only Revelation figure I do have, being Skelegod. So we'll see if we can put him on here. Have to widen his stance a little bit here so he can fit on. And I mean, he looks okay. Again, it's not all the way down. Doesn't quite want to go all the way. I'm sure I can play with the legs a little bit more, but at least that's a little bit more in scale. Still doesn't look quite right, but... And then just to be completely ridiculous, here is Transformers Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron, and he fits the best. So that just kind of looks right. I mean, that's your 80s childhood right there, riding into battle. So, very, very cool. So I really like Battle Cat a lot. Honestly, more than I thought I was going to. When I first saw the designs for the Revelation figures, I was a little underwhelmed. I didn't think they looked terrible, but I wasn't like super amped up and excited for them. But I have to say, having this guy in hand, he really works. I really, really like the helmet design. I didn't think I was going to at first, but it's really grown on me. Just kind of a little stylized, and I really like it. Articulation's fantastic. Like they said, 30 points of articulation. It definitely has a ton. You know, I love the fact that it has these two cuts here on the body of the tiger. That's something you don't see very often. The armor, I think, looks good. Kind of a softer plastic, a little bit, not really rubbery, but just a softer plastic, and you can kind of get it situated how you want with the straps. I kind of wish there was a way you could tuck the straps away or something, but I get it. You know, it's functional over style. I keep knocking the helmet off here. But yeah, he really looks good. He's definitely massive. You know, he's worth the price tag. I think he was $40, if I'm not mistaken. But he's definitely massive. I mean, he's a giant, you know, hunk of plastic here, but great articulation. And I really like the more subdued color scheme. Like I said, when we took a look at it compared to the Origins one, that was a much brighter red and a much brighter green. And I'm really liking the maroon with the kind of softer green and the yellow. I think it really, really works. So I recommend checking this guy out. I really like him a lot. He's a massive, giant, battle-armored cat, and what's not to love about that, honestly? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.